Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing another what I eat in a day video, which is suitable for anybody who wants to eat healthy, but especially people who have like a sensitive stomach, or in my case GERD, IBS, and are prone to gastritis. So that's what we're doing today. I'm gonna say it again because people get very angry in the comments. I'm not telling anybody what to eat. I don't have any like medical knowledge in terms of stomach issues except for what I know about my own. So I'm not telling you to eat this food. This is just what I'm eating. It is basically just to give you a little inspiration and to show that you can still eat nice food when you have stomach problems, but it is up to you to know your own triggers. So some of these foods you won't be able to eat and you can swap out for something else. So now that that is out of the way, let's start eating. Okay, good morning. It is way too early to do too much talking. So basically, I don't eat fruit. Okay, so I could literally go like a year or more without eating a piece of fruit because I just don't enjoy fruit. I enjoy warm, stodgy food that doesn't agree with my stomach. So recently I've been trying to have 5 to 7 servings of fruit and vegetables a day. Now I found the vegetable part easy, but it was the fruit I was struggling with. So what I've done is now every morning I try to have like a bowl of fruit before my breakfast. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to prepare that really quickly. I generally go for obviously like, you know, like acid reflux friendly foods. So apples, strawberries, berries, grapes, that kind of thing. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm going with blueberries today. Just a few. I'm not a big fan of blueberries, but I try and have a couple. I think 5's enough. Now, I've actually grown to really like raspberries. I just hate how quickly they go like moldy and black. So I have to look at them all, inspect them all before I can eat them. I'm not a big strawberry person either, so I'm just going to go 1 strawberry. And an apple. What I do is I let them soak in vinegar for a little bit before I eat them, just to get off any like pesticides or shit that's on the outside. So yeah, that's what I do. Yes, I'm really happy that I've started incorporating this much fruit into my morning before I've even eaten a proper meal. So I'm going to eat this now, do a bit of yoga. I'll probably do the yoga first and then eat this after, and then I'll have breakfast about an hour later. And don't you know, Darcy's going to come do yoga too. Darcy's favourite thing to do when I'm trying to do yoga is to sit on my mat and basically block me from being able to do any of the poses. Isn't that right? I think she likes the feeling of the mat. Come on, let's do some yoga. Come on. Good girl. Out, come on. Good girl. See, I definitely try to do the yoga before I eat anything and before I drink too much, because if, like me, you have a hiatus hernia or stomach issues, there is no point doing a downward dog after you've eaten or drank because it's just going to come straight back up. So yeah, do the yoga first. Now, I don't always start my day with yoga, but I do on my slower days because I've noticed a huge correlation between my stress levels and my stomach problems. So it's a good idea to get your stress levels in check if you have a sensitive stomach. And then I just sat at my desk and worked away for the morning while I ate the fruit. Okay, it's time for breakfast, and this is one I prepared earlier. Did you ever watch Art Attack, that show years ago? And they always used to have one that they prepared earlier. Anyway, that's so relevant. So I made my overnight oats. So I used Alpro yogurt, some oat milk, my oats, some chia seeds, some milled flax seeds. I think that was it actually. And now the only thing I'm going to do to it is put a dollop of peanut butter in there. Now I normally use almond butter. Peanut butter can be a bit acidic, so I would really suggest using almond butter. That's what I normally use. I'm just out today, so we'll pretend I'm putting a dollop of almond butter, but it is peanut butter. What I like about today as well is a lot of these foods can be made in like ahead of time. So my fruit salad that I had this morning could be made the night before and left in the fridge, and similarly this can be made the night before as well. So I really like meals like that, especially when you're working, that you can just have in the fridge and like whip out when it's time to eat. My overnight oats. So I definitely don't advise eating at your desk. Like, I think for everyone, but especially people with stomach problems, you should be mindful of what you're eating. You should be making sure you're chewing your food enough. So really, I think you should sit down and concentrate on your food. But I'm not gonna lie, I have a lot of work to get done, so I am eating at my desk. Okay, so I've literally been having porridge every day for my breakfast, like for the past like month, and like I definitely prefer that because it's warm. Like, I do love like warm stodgy food. But having said that, this is actually so nice, and it's definitely the vanilla flavour from the Alpro yogurt makes it, and like the amalgamation of the peanut butter, almond butter with the vanilla yogurt is actually so nice. So I might actually have this a bit more often now, especially because I can make it ahead of time. But yeah, I'm actually very much enjoying this breakfast, more than I thought I would. Okay, so it's lunchtime. It is absolutely freezing in my house. I don't know why, so I've had to throw on the Snuggie, so excuse that. But anyway, time for lunch. I'm very excited. I'm making a salad today. Now, I never used to eat salad because I got in like a habit with my gastritis at the time of just eating like steamed broccoli basically with every meal. I wasn't having any raw vegetables in my diet. And then only a few months ago, I watched this video on YouTube. I will link it in the description, and it's basically a guy talking about how you improve your digestion, and one of the things he suggested was to have raw fruits and vegetables because they have like enzymes in them that you need. So anything to help my digestion, I have started to incorporate salads into my diet. Now with salads, you do have to be careful. Like, there's a lot of things you shouldn't put in, so things like onions and acidic kind of vegetables, and also you do have to be careful with your dressings. So I think the best way to do it is to make your own dressings, but I'm not a big dressing person, so I don't really know much about making your own dressings and which ones are good and which ones are bad, so you would have to look that up. But what I use is low fat mayonnaise, because full fat, with the high fat content, it can aggravate your symptoms, but if you stick to low fat, hopefully you can get away with that. Now again, you mightn't be able to tolerate low fat mayonnaise, but I can. And I feel like today's a bit of a cheat day because first I have my peanut butter with my breakfast, and I am going for full fat mayonnaise today, which I'm only having a small spoon, so I think it will be fine. But mayonnaise is my favourite food, or my favourite thing in the world to pair with everything. So I'm going to have a spoon of the full fat today and just hope for the best. I do like to treat myself sometimes, so why not? I'm going with a load of green leaves. So I have some Italian salad leaves. I have some bistro salad leaves. I don't know what that means. It's basically rocket, as far as I'm aware. And some spinach. So I'm putting in a raw carrot. I have some black beans. I cooked up my quinoa a little earlier. I just cooked that for about 20 minutes with half a vegetable stock cube. And now this is one you should probably avoid too. Okay, so I'm just making my salad, and I remember one of the reasons why I don't like overnight oats. It gives me the worst taste in my mouth. I'm not a big yogurt eater because I always get the worst taste in my mouth after eating yogurt, and I thought with the Alpro yogurt, because it's plant-based, it's not real yogurt, I thought that wouldn't happen, but it did. I have the worst taste in my mouth. If that happens to you, tell me below, and if you know the actual reason why, tell me, because even though that was really enjoyable to eat, I don't think I want to eat it again. Okay, so I've assembled the salad, and the last thing to do is put the mayo on. Now, I feel like I'm not big into like conventional meals. Like, as long as I get my protein, my whole grains and some vegetables, I'm happy. I do need to work better to increase the good fat though. I do struggle with that. Not because I'm afraid of eating fat, but because I just don't know what to include. I have like an allergy to avocado, and I know that's the big good fat that everybody talks about. So if anybody has some tips for including good fats into your diet, especially with a sensitive stomach, then do leave them suggestions below. But that's basically it. It's actually a massive salad, so it should keep me full for a while. Sometimes I put cooked broccoli in my salad, sometimes I put peas. As long as I have vegetables in there, I just use whatever's in the fridge or whatever leftovers I have. But yeah, this is the salad. So again, preferably light mayonnaise or whatever homemade dressing you want to make that's suitable for you. But I'm so excited to eat this. So about halfway between my lunch and dinner, I'll have like a herbal tea. Now, avoid having too much fluid or like liquids around the time you're eating, because the more that's in your stomach, the more likely you'll have reflux, especially if you have a hiatus hernia. So yeah, it's been about maybe 2 hours since I've had lunch, so I'm just having a ginger tea, just a tea bag. I'd love to make my own, but not today. So yeah, this will get me through the next hour or two, and then I suppose I will start thinking about dinner. Still working away. Right, so it's time for lunch, and I'm having a sweet potato with like curried chickpeas and probably just broccoli and like as much veg as I can find in the fridge. This is like a new recipe I'm after finding, and I'm very much enjoying it. Sweet potato is a really good option for people with stomach issues, and I mean it's really healthy anyway. Now with the chickpeas, I do put a bit of curry sauce in them. Now some people with stomach issues can handle curry and some people can't, so it's just up to you to find out if you can or can't tolerate a little bit of spice. But for me it's fine, and this recipe is just delicious. So as I discussed the last time I made sweet potato in one of my food videos, I just basically stab the shit out of it and then I put it in the oven. Now this is like a monster of a sweet potato, so I feel like it'll take at least an hour, if not more. Okay, so the thing that takes the longest with this recipe is shelling the damn chickpeas. Now, I didn't know this for ages. I thought I just wasn't able to eat them. I used to get a really bad pain in my stomach after eating chickpeas. What I found out was it's because of the shell. So the shell is really hard to digest, but if you actually take it off, it's fine. So, you know, for this dinner, I basically spend like 45 minutes shelling every single chickpea, and that is what takes the longest. I would literally buy a jar for a tenner if it meant that the shells were already taken off. Like, I feel like that would be a great purchase. But anyway, so I do that, and then I basically fry them up in the pan with a small bit of oil. I put in my spices, which is curry, some cumin seeds and some turmeric. I mix that together, let that sit for a few minutes, and then I put in some like zero fat or low fat yogurt just to mix it in. Now you can see here I did put in a little bit too much yogurt, so it was very like liquidy, but it's fine. It still tasted delicious. Then when the sweet potato is ready, I just like mash that up on a plate and I spoon over the mixture, and then I put whatever vegetables I have in the fridge. So in this case it was like broccoli, carrots. And yes, it's absolutely delicious. I recommend you try. Hopefully you can tolerate the bit of curry and stuff, because I don't have an alternative, but I hope you can try it because it is just amazing. Okay, so because I live with my parents, I tend to eat dinner in bed while I watch TV. To be honest, this video is really turning into a what not to do when you have stomach problems, because I feel like they always say be mindful when you're eating and chew properly and enjoy your food and don't watch TV and don't be distracted. And like, I'm literally sitting here for both my meals today watching TV. I actually worked through 2 of my meals and I watched TV for the other one. Also, not gonna lie, my food portion is way too big. I highly suggest having half this portion. Like, I know this is way too big for someone with a hiatus hernia. I just can't help myself. I love food so much, which is probably where my issues started in the first place. So yes, half this portion and then you'll be doing good. Yeah.